The united opposition, as they seem to be taking shape, a new development seems to be brewing up. Recently, the name of Githunguri Member of Parliament Gathoni Wamuchomba has been dragged all over the social media as a mole project of President William Ruto, which is something that she has come out clearly in defense of, attributing her troubles to one Rigathi Gashagua. But the real question is Gathoni Wamuchomba really a project of President William Ruto within the opposition? Here is the truth. When Rigathi Gashagua was impeached last year and turned out to be a darling of the people of the Mount Kenya region, only a few leaders from the government wanted to be involved with him, and only a few who actually defended him in the court of public opinion. Among them was Gathoni Wamuchomba. But when did Gathoni Wamuchomba actually become a sympathizer of Rigathi Gashagua? Yet before the impeachment of Rigathi Gashagua, Wamuchomba and Gashagua never saw eye to eye. Getting down to it, Gathoni Wamuchomba has always been a smart player and an opportunist when it comes to the politics around the Mount Kenya region. Back in the year 2017, during the Jubilee politics and the RUTO politics for their second term, Gathoni Wamuchomba was just a mere radio presenter working for the Uhuru-owned media station Kameme FM. Through the influence garnered through her career as a journalist, she kick-started a political career from Kameme FM, where Uhuru went ahead to give her a ticket to vie for the Githunguri MP under the Jubilee Party. And Uhuru supporting her publicly saw the people of Githunguri trust in Gathoni Wamuchomba, and she was elected for the first time as a member of parliament of Githunguri. But when an opportunity presented itself for her to betray Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta for money and power, Gathoni Wamuchomba dropped Uhuru and Raila in 2018 like a hot potato after Uhuru and Raila Molodinga came together for an handshake and joined the Hustler Brigade, then under Deputy President William Ruto. So these has always been the game of Gathoni Wamuchomba. She is only loyal to herself and a political career, nothing more, nothing less. When she realized Ruto had lost the influence among the people, she started aligning herself with the people as a defender of the people and the marginalized. And she spoke so openly in opposition of the current regime of President William Ruto back in the year 2023. Now, a chance presented itself again for Gathoni Wamuchomba through Gashagua's impeachment. To position herself as a darling of the people of the Mount Kenya region, she didn't hesitate but went ahead to join Rigathi Gashagua when Gashagua was impeached last year. Now, where did things go south between Gathoni Wamuchomba and Rigathi Gashagua? When Rigathi Gashagua was impeached, he started popularizing himself among the people of the Mount Kenya region and positioning himself as the kingpin of the Mount Kenya region. And here, Gathoni Wamuchomba saw an opportunity because she knew Rigathi Gashagua cannot in any way vie for the presidency due to the constitutional implications of an impeachment. Gathoni Wamuchomba aligned herself close to Rigathi Gashagua. And when Rigathi Gashagua came up with the ideology of starting off a new party, Gathoni Wamuchomba was beside her, believing that Rigathi Gashagua would actually pick her as the party leader of the DCP party. But things went south. When Gathoni Wamuchomba realized that Rigathi Gashagua was not going to give her the chance to become the party leader of the DCP party, then is when Gathoni Wamuchomba started falling out with Rigathi Gashagua and leaking information from the said united opposition to the current government of President William Ruto. And when Rigathi Gashagua started doing his due diligence to ascertain why most of his things and plans were exposed to the government, he found out that Gathoni Wamuchomba was the person that was leaking the information to the government. Now, Rigathi Gashagua started kicking out or maybe playing the politics of leaving Gathoni Wamuchomba outside major decision making within the formation of the new party, the DCP party. And here is when Gathoni Wamuchomba realized, wait a minute, I have been caught and there is nothing that I can do to align myself with the party of Rigathi Gashagua. And that is when she went back to campaigning and to popularizing herself as a person that really wants what's best for the Republic of Kenya. I shall remind you that during the DCP party launch, which happened in Parklands, Gathoni Wamuchomba played a very crucial game there. During the day that DCP was being launched is when Gathoni Wamuchomba went to meet with the former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i to align herself with Fred Matiang'i. And that is the day that the DCP party was being launched. Now, Gathoni Wamuchomba publicly then declared that she will be in support of Fred Matiang'i's candidature for the presidency come the year 2027. I shall remind you, this has come at a time that we are all trying to know who is for us and who is not for us. Gathoni Wamuchomba has tried to defend herself in the court of public opinion to prove a point that, you know what, she's being fought because she has refused to align herself with Rigathi Gashagua. But truth be told, Gathoni Wamuchomba being an opportunist, she is out there to defend herself and to build a political career, and not a political career that serves the people of the Mount Kenya region, nor the people of the Republic of Kenya. It's a political career that serves her herself as Gathoni Wamuchomba. Now, here is where it gets juicy. Gathoni, after being kicked out of the inner team or the inner circle of Rigathi Gashagua, she went ahead to start popularizing herself and to build a portfolio as a possible powerhouse in the Mount Kenya region. But you can't do that right now because that title has its owner, and that owner is none other than Rigathi Gashagua. Now let's get down to the other people that Gathoni Wamuchomba is being involved with. I told you, during the day that DCP party was launched is when Gathoni Wamuchomba aligned herself with Matiang'i, and she started, you know what, bringing Matiang'i in the Mount Kenya region to visit different areas to popularize Matiang'i among the people of the Mount Kenya region, saying that now she knows the best candidate to become the president is Fred Matiang'i. But truth be told, Gathoni Wamuchomba, even before the government, even before the current government, she was a great critic of Fred Matiang'i, then when she was under the Hustler Brigade. So it doesn't escape logic that Gathoni Wamuchomba is doing this in her own benefit. Now, after seeing that Rigathi Gashagua is not going to bring her in or to beg her to come back to the team, that is when Gathoni Wamuchomba started now collecting or maybe involving herself with the rest of the Kenya Moja Brigade. She called Edwin Sifuna to the table, Babu Owino to the table, Amisi to the table, and then they started now a campaign where they are supposed to popularize themselves as the defenders of the people of the Republic of Kenya. And that is when you saw, during the economic empowerment program that was started by Sabauti MP Missi in Sabauti constituency, Gathoni Wamuchomba was the first person to popularize that bid, and she was the first person to sell it even to the people of the Mount Kenya region and portrayed herself as a national leader. Remember, the economic empowerment program is something that President William Ruto has been funding through Kithure Kindiki. Now, for the first time, Gathoni Wamuchomba was called as a special guest by Sabauti MP Missi in Sabauti, where she donated an amount of 500,000 Kenyan shillings. Now, here is where we started now seeing the red flags. that Gathoni Wamuchomba, who has not in any way contributed such an amount of money in the Mount Kenya region and even in our own constituency, went ahead to contribute an amount of 500,000 Kenyan shillings during the day that the economic empowerment program was going down. Yes. Now, let's get down to the real story. I want to read what Gathoni Wamuchomba said in response to her being a mole of President William Ruto in the current regime. And I want you to listen and listen very careful to what Gathoni Wamuchomba had to say. This is what she said yesterday. She said, I went to condole with the Ishungwas, but I didn't join in the funeral since I had a family funeral in Lemuru Muringeti today. Ishungwa's sister are my supporters and friends, and nothing can change this. His mother is my friend too, and I sat next to her all through the service. Those creating lies and propaganda can sell the lies and get rich. I differ with Honorable Kimani politically, but that doesn't stop me from associating with his siblings and neighbors, since death knows no politics. You can spin your lies to your snow. And it's true, I am in Team Kenya Moja to take Kasongo home early in the morning. Watch this space. Now, there is another thing that she deleted. She said that she was being forced to join Rigathi Gashagua's team in a dictator form. I mean, she went ahead to edit a post, because yesterday night when I read this post, she had attributed her holes and problems to Rigathi Gashagua, saying that she is being forced through dictatorship to join the team of Rigathi Gashagua. But truth be told, why should Rigathi Gashagua currently need Gathoni Wamuchomba in his side, yet Rigathi Gashagua has pocketed the Mount Kenya region without any struggle? Now, looking at how development are happening, there is one question that we have asked ourselves. Is Babu Owino also a project of President William Ruto? Is Sifuna also a project of William Ruto? Is Amisi also a project of President William Ruto? I dare say no. I dare defend Babu Owino. I dare defend Sifuna in this matter. For they were called to an alliance with somebody that they believe is also a defender of the people of the Republic of Kenya, not knowing where our alliance lie. Yes. You know, Gathoni Wamuchomba has always portrayed herself as a defender of justice, as a defender of the Gen Z, as a defender of the people of the Republic of Kenya. But truth be told, it is being proven now that Gathoni Wamuchomba has always had an Indian agenda. I want to read also a message relayed to us by the Sabauti MP, Missi, this morning on matters the opposition and how the politics are currently going down in the Republic of Kenya. Listen to what Missi had to say. Central leaders going to State House to receive money and coming back saying pesa atuachi ni zetu lakini kura party are lying to the rest. You can never defeat a belligerent force by sending your soldiers to eat food from the enemy camp and to turn and kill the very people carrying their daily bread. After eating, some will be too full to walk back home and therefore hope to sleep under a tree in the enemy compound. In case they are attacked while eating, many will join the enemy forces to defend the food, while some, in the process of gluttonous behavior, will be ordered to wash dishes for next platoon coming for the meal. Other soldiers are too foodies enough to remain in the kitchen preparing next meal. Politics, just like war, is defined as who gets what, when and how. Tell me why would soldiers return to the bush to fight for what they are getting without firing a single shot? At the end, those who eventually return back to the barracks will be coming to check whether food is now adequately available from their own barracks. Na pia watu wameshiba sana from history ya wasumbuangi. #Gashagua, these are politics that will take you years to learn. But I am advising for free here. Kenya needs a renaissance. Now, this is what is happening. They have now started laying themselves out. You know, attacking Rigathi Gashagua right now, a man that has been opposing this government so openly, is telling us where your loyalty lie or where your politics lie. You can't tell us that, have you seen Rigathi Gashagua in State House? No. Have you seen Matiang'i in State House? No. Have you seen Kalonzo in State House? Have you seen Martha Karua in State House? No. You can't tell us that. But you people are still, you know, the question that we asked ourselves, when Rigathi Gashagua was organizing, when his people were organizing political rallies, while Rigathi Gashagua was away, they were attacked, they were beaten, they were tear gassed. Some of them were even at the verge of being killed. People like Akina Senator Medu. But Akina Gathoni Wamuchomba and people like Edwin, Sifuna, Babu Owino, and Akina Missi, they were given police and police escort. So we ask ourselves, who is the mole here? Who is the mole here? Mtazamaji, the politics that is currently being played in the Republic of Kenya turns out to be just something that you need. I mean, it's when we pray for God's intervention for us to have the understanding of what is actually going on. Leave your comment in the comment section on what you think about this. I'll see you in our next video. But one thing is clear. Gathoni Wamuchomba, this time round, ameshikwa, amekamatwa akiwa na donge mdomoni. Let's meet in our next video.